Benny the Big Shot Goes to Camp by Bonnie Bader. Benny was going to sleepaway camp for the very first time. It's time to pack your bags, Benny's mom said. Oh, I can do it myself, Benny said. I've read the camp list a billion times. I know just what I have to bring. Benny packed shorts and t-shirts for warm days. He packed long pants and long-sleeved shorts for cool days. He packed sneakers for running. He packed hiking boots for hiking. He packed swimming trunks for swimming. He packed a sweater and a sweatshirt. And he packed lots of socks. There, Benny said. He sat on his trunk. I'm done. I think you forgot something, Mom said. I didn't forget, Benny said. He grabbed the underwear from his mom. I was just saving them for last. Benny's little sister, Molly, walked into the room. Aren't you scared to go to camp? Molly asked Benny. Me? Scared? Benny said with a laugh. I'm not scared of anything. I'll be the best camper Camp Treetop has ever seen. Can I have Benny through while he's gone? Molly asked. Mom shook her head. Your brother's only going to be gone for 2 weeks. He'll be back before you know it. As soon as Molly and Mom left the room, Benny put a few more things into his trunk, things that weren't on the camp list. On Monday morning, Benny left for camp. Goodbye, dear, his mom said. Don't get sick. Don't get homesick, Molly said. Don't worry about me, Benny said. I'm going to be the best camper Camp Treetop has ever seen. Benny walked on the bus. He had a big smile on his face. None of the other kids were smiling. A few of the kids were crying. What's wrong with you guys? Benny asked. Sleepaway camp is the best. Benny sat down at the back of the bus. He waved to Molly. He blew a kiss to his parents, and when he was sure they were out of sight, he wiped a tear from his cheek. Finally, the bus reached the camp. I'm your counselor, Matt, a young man said. Welcome to Bunk 3. Everyone can pick a bunk bed. I call Button. A camper named Sam said. There's no way I can have a top, a boy named Tim said. I'm afraid of heights. What's wrong with you guys? Benny asked. I love the top bunk. I always sleep on the top bunk. I'm not afraid of heights. Benny put down his duffel bag. He scrambled up the ladder and plopped on the bed. See? Benny said to the other campers. It's great up here. I'm the king of the hill. Benny landed on the floor with a big thump. Benny looked up at the other campers. They just stared at him. Then Benny started to laugh. Wasn't that a cool trick? He said. Matt helped Benny up. Come on, guys, Matt said. It's time to go sailing. Sailing? Benny said. I love to sail. I bet I'm the best sailor Camp Treetop has ever seen. They walked down to the lake. They put on life vests. Who wants to go first? Matt asked. Benny raised his hand. Benny and Matt climbed into the sailboat. I know just what to do, Benny told Matt. He grabbed the rope. He grabbed a sail, and the boat tipped over. Benny floated to the top of the lake. Matt grabbed onto him. You shouldn't have done that, Matt said. But I wanted to get wet, Benny said. It's very hot out here. Let's get back to shore, Matt said. It's almost time for woodchop. Woodchop, Benny said. I love woodchop. I bet I'm the best woodworker Camp Treetop has ever seen. Welcome to woodchop. I'm Jane. We're going to build birdhouses today. Jane said. Jane gave out the supplies. Be careful with the glue, Jane said. It's very sticky. And with glue, Benny said. Be careful with the hammers, Jane said. They're very heavy. I'm very handy with hammers, Benny said. Is everyone done? Jane asked. Yes, said the campers. Very nice, Jane said as she walked around. Oh dear, Jane cried. She ran over to Benny. Benny's birdhouse was stuck to his hand. But I wanted it this way, Benny said. This way I can be very close to the birds when they come to my birdhouse to eat. Luckily, the glue hadn't dried yet. Over the few next days, the campers did lots of fun things. And of course, Benny said he was the best at all of them. Benny said he was the best at baseball, but he struck out every time. Benny said he was the best at tennis, but he lost all the tennis balls. Benny said he was the best at gymnastics, but he kept falling off the balance beam. Benny said he was the best at rock climbing, but all he did was dangle in the air. One night, after Benny had fallen asleep, the campers started to talk. I'm tired of Benny's bragging. Tim said, he thinks he's such a big shot. Said Sam, I think we should teach him a lesson. David whispered. The boys had a plan. When Benny went outside the next morning, he saw all the campers laughing. They were pointing at a flagpole. Benny looked up. There was a blankie dangling from the pole. Benny's blankie! Okay, big shot, someone called. See if you can get that blankie down. Benny tried to climb up the flagpole, but each time he tried, he just slid back down. Finally, Matt came out to help. Benny did not brag the rest of the day. He did not brag the rest of the night. When it was time for their overnight camping trip, Benny just packed his bag and followed along. The campers went up a steep hill and down an even steeper one. They went across a stream and they went under some rocks. I'm tired, Tim said. Me too, David added. Are we there yet? Sam wanted to know. Matt stopped walking. He looked up at the sky. It was getting dark. I'm afraid we're lost, Matt said. Lost? The campers cried. I can help, Benny said. I can find our way back. Yeah, right, the campers said. Benny sat down on a rock. I know I've said I'm good at a lot of things, he said, and I know the truth is that I'm not the best at everything, but I know how to get us back to camp. I really do, he said. No one believed him. I know east from west and north from south, Benny said. I know which direction to go in to get us back to camp, and if you don't believe me, I'll go myself. Benny set off on his own. It was getting very dark. Wait up, cried Matt. Don't leave us, said David. They all followed Benny. Under some rocks, across a stream, up a big hill, and down a big hill. Look, shouted Tim. I see our camp. Hooray! The campers shouted. Let's hear it for Benny, said Matt. He's really the best camper Camp Freedom has ever seen.